Hi, hope you're having a great day. You're watching JG Entertainment, and for this video, I'm going to be reviewing the first Star Wars Visions episode called The Duel. This will be a spoiler review, so if you haven't seen the episode and you do not want it spoiled for you, then please get out of the video right now, save it to after you watch the episode, and then come back to it, because I don't want to ruin the episode for anybody. So if you care about spoilers, then please get out. And if you don't, or if you have already seen it, then that's great. Feel free to stay for this whole video that I definitely think you'll enjoy. Especially if you ended up enjoying this episode, I think you'll really like this review. It's a very honest review where I really talk about the good and the bad and what I think really worked, what I really think stood out, and what I really think was really interesting, and the things that I really think that didn't work, and things that I would like to get switched for the future of Star Wars Visions. So that's what I want to talk about in this video. So I definitely think you'll enjoy it. It's a very honest review. But before that, please mention to people down in the comments what you thought about this episode. I'm definitely very curious to hear different thoughts and opinions. So definitely tell me down below in the comments what you thought about this episode. As well, subscribe so you can get a lot of other Star Wars Visions content. I'm going to be reviewing every single episode, as well as doing a ranking from worst to best. So definitely make sure to subscribe so you don't get all that Star Wars content. Especially if you're a really big Star Wars Visions fan, then definitely make sure to subscribe so you can get all that content. And lastly, make sure to leave a like. It very much helps out the video, and if you end up enjoying this video, then just leave a like. It's, like I said, it's very helpful, so please leave a like, and thank you. Okay, now let's get started. So this Star Wars Visions episode has a very basic premise over like the village making you get paid taxes, like the bigger empire trying to make them pay taxes, and the village doesn't want to. So then they have like their own revolutionaries that try to fight the stormtroopers. So that was a very basic premise. It's been done before a lot in not only just different movies and TV shows, but in Star Wars as well, especially with like other animation shows like The Bad Batch, where I saw this being done. So it's a pretty basic premise. It's not super original, but I think really works for this episode. I just wish there was a little bit more better. Like, I wish there was a little bit more to it, but I think it's just that the episode is really short. It's like 11 to 14 minutes, which is like extremely short, which I do think is a big problem from this episode, but it's okay. I think that overall it still works enough to the point where it's still very enjoyable. So it's an okay premise. However, I think the premise overall, I think still does its job, and I still very much enjoy to see the revolutionaries trying to fight the stormtroopers and the gun-to-gun action. I know it was really short and very brief, but I still thought it was very enjoyable, especially with this animation style, which at the start I was really thrown off by. It's like darkish, like frame by frame type of thing. Like whenever you do like a little flip book, and then like it starts like page by page or page by page. That's kind of what it looks like, and it definitely looked very cool, and it definitely looked like very well done. It looked very well done. I had some problems with it. Like sometimes I think it was a little too dark and I could barely see anything, or like in some fight scenes I thought like it just felt like it was skipping frames, and I didn't really like that. I think it took me out of it a little bit. But overall, I think the animation was very well done. From the drawing art style, I thought it looked very well and very real from the drawing art style and all type of stuff. So I very much enjoyed it, and I was actually pleasantly surprised with this animation, especially since I thought I wasn't going to like it. Judging from the start of the episode, I was like, that looks a little too messy for me. But I think overall, I think it ended up working really well, especially since I remember doing one of those flip grids myself, and it was very hard. But at the end, I felt really proud of doing it. So I think I kind of felt the same for this episode. I was like, oh, I feel proud of people making that. So I think that helped it, and it gave it some points. But yeah, the animation I think overall worked. So after we see the revolutionaries fighting the stormtroopers, and they're actually beating the stormtroopers, or the gun action that I mentioned that I enjoyed, even though it was brief, Sid comes out and she starts beating the crap out of these revolutionaries with her very cool lightsaber. It was super original, super cool. I really like the Star Wars Visions gets to do like these type of fresh stories and innovate with Star Wars material already, and that lightsaber definitely was very innovative. It looked awesome. The way she was killing people with that lightsaber was really cool. The way she was like blocking the shots, the way she like reflected some shots, all that type of stuff. It just looked really awesome, and I really dig that umbrella lightsaber, I'm gonna call it, because whenever she took it off, it kind of looked like an umbrella. So I'm gonna call it the umbrella lightsaber. I really dig that, and I thought it was really cool. As well as I really dig the antagonist herself. I thought she was menacing. I thought she was like, you don't want to mess with her. She looks really cool, and I think she overall had a lot of very powerful screen presence. That whenever she was on the screen, you're like, okay, she means business. So I think the antagonist worked very well in this episode. So from meeting the main antagonist, we go to the fight scene between the main antagonist and the main character. Now, I don't want to call the main character a hero because I don't really know if he's a hero. Because we got that reveal during the fight that he had a red lightsaber, and he said that unfortunately he was not a Jedi. So I'm very, very curious about what that means for him. I was very intrigued. In fact, it was the best part of the episode for me. Whenever they did that plot twist, it was like a Jedi, and then he was like, "Unfortunately, I'm not a Jedi," as he took his red lightsaber. That was really, really awesome, and I really, really loved that. I was like, "What?" That really blew my mind. It was the plot twist I wasn't expecting. And unfortunately, felt like it kind of didn't go anywhere in this episode. But overall, I still felt really intrigued by it, and I wish I knew more about why he has a red lightsaber, why he is what he's doing. I'm very confused to his motives, but however, it was really cool to just have him like that. So that was very interesting. So we get that fight scene from the way that she goes like the main antagonist goes like that, and then like the guy catches it with the force, which was super super cool. I do gotta admit, I was like, wow, that's a super cool move. Then the way he takes out his lightsaber is like also a really cool pose that I really liked. It kind of felt like a samurai type of thing, so that was really interesting and really really cool. And then to the way that they start fighting, and then they go to like this log, and then like they're in the river and all that type of stuff. I thought it felt very innovative and very cool. I was like, yeah, that looks really cool. I had a little problems in that log fight scene because I felt like the frame rates kind of didn't follow very well the action, so it kind of took me out a little bit. But it brought me back in because the camera work was really well done, and the way that they were slashing the lightsabers at each other felt very real, like an actual real fight, not like it was choreographed. No, it felt like an actual real fight. So I really enjoyed that fight scene overall. And I really especially loved the way that they beat each other by having to use like their brains, their smarts. For example, the antagonist uses the cliff of the waterfall to outsmart the main character because the main character didn't realize that the cliff was there, and then he ends up falling. Then she goes down, and then she thinks that she sees him, so she uses a log to stop the waterfall from going to that little area, which I thought was super cool. And I was like, wow, that's super smart. And she goes over there, and she thinks he's gonna kill him, and instead it was just a statue. And then it results that the main character was in the back, and he stabs her, and it was like an outsmarting type of thing. And I really thought that was really awesome. I love how it was outsmarting. It wasn't just like fighting. No. I thought it was really cool that it was outsmarting the opponent, and I really thought it was awesome. So I really enjoyed that fight scene. I wish it was longer. It felt really, really short, but it's okay. It's kind of the problem of just the Star Wars Vision's concept overall. The fact that they're shorts and that they're not like full-on episodes. I really don't like the runtime for these episodes. I feel like it's really short. However, I think the fight scene was still very well done, and I overall really enjoyed that fight scene. A negative I did have with this episode was that robot that kind of that saved everybody. Whenever she was like, "Oh no, now we got your village trapped," and then like he caused this robot and he just saved everybody. I thought that was like just a cheap way to end the episode really fast. It didn't feel earned at all. It just kind of felt like, oh yeah, he's there. So I didn't really like that. I was like, okay, I guess. I wish he would have had to go back and then had to slowly take down each one of them sneakily. I feel like that would have been a way cooler concept, like a sneaky type of thing. Like, take this one out, I'll take this one out, I'll take this one out. So little by little until he frees off the village. I felt like that would have been an awesome thing to do. Instead, we got the robot saving everybody with his little missiles, which I thought was just like a cheat code to just finish the episode really fast and to end that problem, to just focus on the fight. And I really didn't like that, but it is what it is. The fight scene was still very incredible, so I was satisfied with that. However, I wish that they would have kept going to taking down one by one instead of using the robot to magically just destroy every single opponent, which I didn't like. And then we get to the end of the episode where we see that he breaks the lightsaber and then he takes a little crystal, and then we see that he's collecting all these crystals, which was very, very intriguing. Which is why that was my favorite part of the episode. The kind of mysterious side to the main character that we're following. Because we don't really know what his main goal is. We don't know what his motivation is. And we're getting slow glimpses of what he really is. We get like the glimpse that he's a Sith, I think. Or he's something with the Dark Force because he has a red lightsaber. He's collecting all these red crystals for some reason. However, he's still saving the village. And he still gives the crystals to the little kid. So he was definitely very mysterious. And I was definitely very confused to what his main goal was. However, I found that very, very intriguing, and I really enjoyed the mystery that we have with this character. So that was my favorite part of the episode. Just having that mystery with that character and the slow reveals of what his true intentions are. I thought that was really cool. I just wish that went somewhere instead of just like staying out in nowhere. No, I wish that went somewhere at the end of the episode, but once again, I think it's a problem with the runtime. Not giving enough runtime for them to explore what was his main motive. So, that was a bummer, but I still very much enjoyed the mystery side and the intrigue with his character. So overall, I think I will give this episode a 7.5 out of 10. which is really good, at least for me. I overall really enjoyed the episode. I thought it had great action, great animation. I thought the main character was really intriguing and very mysterious, which I really liked. So I really did enjoy this episode. I just had a lot of problems with it, with the runtime and the robot getting used to just get rid of all the main things. So I had problems with that. But other than that, I thought it was really good and really enjoyable. And I was truly impressed with this episode and how much it could actually captivate me in only 11 minutes or 14 minutes, something like that. So I was very impressed, which is why it's 7.5. I think that was really good. Fair grade. But definitely make sure to tell me what you would give it out of a 10 in the comments down below. I'm definitely very curious to hear your thoughts. And tell me why you would give it like a certain number. Like if you gave it a 10 out of 10, why would you give it a 10 out of 10? Did you really enjoy the anime style? Did you really enjoy the main character? Or if you gave it like a 1 out of 10, why did you give it a 1 out of 10? Like what didn't you like? What did not work for you? So I'm definitely very curious for that. I'm definitely very curious to hear different people's thoughts and opinions on this episode. So definitely make sure to tell me down below all the thoughts and opinions over this episode. I'm definitely very curious to hear them. As well as subscribe to get more Star Wars Visions content. Like I said, I'm going to be reviewing every episode and ranking them from worst to best. So subscribe for all that good stuff, and don't forget to leave a like. It's very helpful, it's very appreciated, and if you ended up enjoying this review and you find it informative or just enjoyable to watch, then please leave a like. It's very helpful, so please and thank you. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day. And this is JJ Entertainment, out.